There we go. I dropped that. It's fucking flies. Oh my god. Oh, oh. I showed you the other day my tomatoes.
Yeah,
Getting big. Big.
doing good.
Yeah. I get off here. I'll show you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sleepy. As right now, I've been up 12 hours. I've been at work for 11 of them. I'll give it about 2 minutes. If something don't happen, we'll just do it and post it, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, they can always rewatch it.
Yeah.
So if you want to just start, you can just start now, and then whenever you post it up that way, it'll be more like a video.
Yeah. One person. Well, whoever it is. Hi, hello, howdy, how are you? All right. Hello, YouTube, and welcome to the madness. I have managed to corral the Ricky the elusive, the legend himself. He sat down with me, said he'd do an interview. So we're gonna go through some questions. If you guys enjoy it, give him a like, give him a subscribe. If you guys enjoy it, give me a subscribe. I'll take them too. Okay, 15 questions. Take your time, answer them however you want to. Oh, what was your childhood like?
I had a good childhood, man. I grew up hunting and fishing with my uncles, and I grew up. I lived in the country all my life, so I went to a little small school. We were raised in church, so yeah, I had a good childhood.
Right on. Big family and such, just close family.
Yeah, we have a big close family. My grandma had 6 kids, and all the brothers and sisters are close. So me and all my cousins were close as well.
Right on. Uh, what is one moment from your past that changed your life?
Well, that would have to be when I went to prison when I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
Anybody who watches my videos or has watched your videos probably knows a little about that. But when I was 15 years old, I went to prison for second degree murder, and I was in there for 20 and a half years. So that's definitely a moment that changed my life.
Wow. Yeah. Um, if you could go back and give some advice to your younger self, what would that advice be?
Man, one, I'd say listen to your mama, man. Listen to your mama and stay in school because here's
Right.
the thing, man. Your mama wishes only the best for you, but sometimes when you're a kid, it's hard to understand that, and you think everything's going to be all right as soon as you get away from home. But the truth of the matter is, that first 18 years of your life when you're at home with your mama or your daddy is the easiest years of your life because once you get 18, it's all on you.
Lots of truth to that. Um, what is something people assume about you that just simply is not true?
People would think because I was in prison for a long time that I like to fight, that I want to fight, or that I want to see a fight. And that's just not the truth, man. After being in prison for 20 years, I hope to never get in another fight in my life. I don't even want to see a fight unless it's in a UFC with referee or something.
Right? Um,
Yeah.
speaking of prison, and we know there's all kinds of prison gangs, what made you avoid joining up?
Well, there was a time whenever the UAB was really young. It was just getting started, and all my friends were doing it. And I thought about getting in it with them, but my mom was dead against it, and the girl I was with at the time was against it. But my mom was the main one that told me, "Son, don't get in there and make no family in prison because you got real brothers out here in the world waiting on you to get out." So, really, I guess you would say it was my mom that kept me from getting involved in the gang.
Good stuff. Good job, mom. Um, what's the wildest situation you've ever been in or out of prison? Doesn't matter.
Shoot, it would definitely be in prison, man. Whenever I got to Granite the first time, the second time that I got there, when we were coming across, when we got to the yard, there was 14 people on the bus that were supposed to be going to Granite, and they take us down to the captain's office and ask us who all's going to go to the yard and who's going to catch out. And 12 out of 14 caught out right then. They wouldn't even go to the yard. I went to the yard, and one black guy went to the yard, and they were bringing us across the yard, and there was people all in the windows. There's bars on the windows. There was people all on the bars and the windows, looking out at us, seeing who was coming in. And as soon as they brought me in the day room, this white guy takes me off to the side and hands me a knife. And I'm like, damn, I need that. And they had just been having a riot there, and people had been killed, and they're just now getting that back out in the day room. They have been locked in their cells. And I told them, man, I got about 6 months left. Am I going to need that? Hopefully, I'm not going to need that, because at that point, shoot, man, I'd almost rather got stabbed than stab somebody. Being locked up close to 20 years at the time already, fixing to go home. I wasn't trying to stab nobody. Shit.
Damn.
So he takes me to his cell and tells me, here I'm gonna lay it here on the rail of my bed, and if you need it, this is where it's at. So that was a pretty wild situation, man.
That's pretty damn wild. Um, what's something about prison life that people don't understand?
People think that prison is all about fighting, and that when you think of prison, that's what you think about. It's getting in fights or getting stabbed. That's the first thing that comes to your mind. But what people don't understand about prison is that's not the worst part of it. The worst part of it is the day after day after day, nothing ever changes. If someone you love dies or they're in the hospital, you can't go see them. Your mom might need her fence fixed or a door fixed, and you can't do anything to help your mom because you're locked away. And it's all the time that's spent just staring at the wall. That's the thing about prison that doesn't come across to people. When I made my videos, I made 130 some odd videos and ran out of things to talk about, because most of the time when you're in prison, there isn't anything to talk about. Mostly you look around the day room and you see 25, 30 people sitting around, and none of them smiling. And that's the one thing you notice, is that nobody has a smile on their face. And that's something about prison that I think most people don't really understand, is that it's not really all about the violence. It's really about the dead time, because you're not living, you're just existing.
All right. Ace Levacy. Levacy, whatever. Ace says hi. Hello, Ace. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you.
Eh,
Um, this is Ace. This is Ricky Dye. He's got his own channel. Go look him up. Amazing storyteller. He's a hell of a storyteller. He's got a real good story. You'll check him out. You'll love him, I promise. He just happened to sit down and interview with me, so I'm like the kid in the candy store today. Um, Funniest thing. How did you get out of prison?
I discharged my time. I did it all day for day.
God. um, have you ever been in a situation? No, 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 no. Yeah. What's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you?
Well, I won't say it's the funniest thing that's ever happened to me, because, in a way it's funny, in a way it's not. But a couple of weeks ago, I was I tried to take my aunt to the hospital, and we're sitting in the emergency room, and me and this guy are talking. And I noticed that he has tattoos from prison. And we get to talking about the fact that we were both in prison. And there's this lady sitting there, and she's listening to us talk, but she don't have a ride home. She's thinking she might have to take the bus, and she's never took the bus before, and she don't know what she's going to do, and she doesn't live that far away. But her son's at work or something, so he can't come pick her up. Her mom's disabled. Her car wouldn't run. She didn't have her phone with her. So I let her borrow my phone so she could call and see if her son could pick her up. He couldn't pick her up. So I ended up offering to take her home. And then in a minute we're sitting there, and I'm like, I'm surprised. I told that dude, I was like, I'm surprised she still wanted me to take her home when she heard us talking about being in prison. And
Right?
she was like, yeah, but you said you were in prison, but it's not like you were in there for murder or anything. And I'm like, actually, I was. So you should have seen everybody's face, man. Like, everybody ended up laughing about it, and I ended up taking her home, dropping her off. But that was one of those, laugh to keep from crying kind of things too, because it's really embarrassing when you meet somebody to have to tell them that you were in prison for 20 years. That's not something you're proud of.
I'm not even going to ask you number 10. Number 10 is literally, have you ever been in a situation you had to laugh to keep from crying? That's literally number
Oh,
10.
yeah.
Good stuff. Um, who's the funniest person you know, and why? Like why? Comedian or whatever
Probably,
person,
probably my cousin that I just went fishing with.
right?
Uh, and the reason is he's always saying funny shit. But the main reason is like I was out there working with him last week, and there's a heat index of over 100. It's hot as hell outside. He's cracking jokes about it being too cold. You know, when anybody else would be complaining, griping that it's too hot, he's making jokes, talking about it's cold outside to him. You can ask him, "Are you tired?" And he'd say, "If I was, I wouldn't show it." You know, he's just one of those kind of guys that's always cracking a joke or upbeat, and you just can't bring him down no matter what the situation is.
Good stuff. Me and him get along great. We
Yeah, you would. You'd like him.
good stuff. If you go back and redo one embarrassing moment in your whole life, what would it be?
It would be going to prison, bro. I know that's a generic answer because I've already used that as an answer, but the truth is, uh, I regret what I did to go to prison more than anything else in my life. It changed everything, not only in my life, but also in the lives of the people who love me. It changed my mom's life. It changed my brother's life. I mean, it changed every one of their life in a way that you can never know or realize just how much it did change it. And so, if there's anything I regret, it's being there that night, going to that store, committing that crime.
What would you? Which part of that would you not go stay the night? Would you?
I would have stayed home.
Got on? Man, yeah. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Best advice I ever received is from my mama. She said, "Count on yourself, and the rest is gravy."
That's good stuff.
Huh?
You that needs to be on a t-shirt.
Yeah, count on yourself, and the rest is gravy. I tell you
That should be
another
on a
guy
t-shirt.
though. There was a guy in prison that told me to be a friend. You gotta to have a friend. You gotta be a friend, and that always stuck in my head too. To have a friend, you have to be a friend.
No the truth
He
of
would
that.
tell me that all the time. Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that.
Fucking flies, God Almighty. Um, next to the last one. What is something you don't regret at all?
Man, you know, I thought a lot on that question, and anyone who knows me or watches my videos knows that I got married when I got out of prison to a prison guard that was at the same prison that I was at before I got out. Her name was Monica, and Monica couldn't have kids, so I had to choose between being with Monica or being able to have me some kids because I was only 35 at the time, and I chose Monica. And now, for the last 10 months, me and Monica have been separated, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to work things out. And I lost out on my chance to have kids now because I took those years being with her. But still, I don't regret it because I loved her that much, man.
Right on.
What we have was special, and I really loved her. I still, to this day, love her. And even though it cost me the chance to have kids, I don't regret being with her.
There's Miss Sheila saying hi. Hi, Miss Sheila. I got Ricky Die. I told you I'd get him. I got him. Um, last one. This is my favorite. This tells me so much about everybody. If you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, throughout history, whatever, who would they be?
Well, the first one would be Jesus,
Is it good answer?
and I think for my second one, I might like to have like to sit down and have dinner with Paul, the Apostle Paul,
Right?
who wrote most of the Bible. He wrote most of the Bible. I'd like to sit down and talk to him. And the third one probably be Elvis Presley. You know, letting him have dinner with a king.
Golly. Mine are quick. Jesus, obviously. My dad, because he's passed. And number three, you. I mean,
Hey,
that's
well, thank
crazy,
you,
but
buddy. Well, we've had dinner.
we did. But it's just Jesus, obviously. I mean, my dad, because I miss him. Love to talk to him again. And you, because it's realistic. Elvis, I don't know him. I mean, it's like, what do you talk about? But yeah, I mean, I'm just that simple of a person. Well, besides
Yeah,
Jesus. Yeah,
I almost said Einstein instead of Elvis.
Jesus. I can't even spell Einstein.
Yeah.
Well, man, that's it. 15-minute video. I've been telling about it, gonna do it.
Well, now you done it.
I did it. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna tag you in it. And then
All right, brother. I'll share it.
you need anything at all, holler at me.
I will do. And I want to thank you for having me on here on your channel.
Yes, sir. Maybe you'll get back in the groove and then start picking back. I think you're at 5,100. Have you looked?
Yep. 5,100 subscribers.
Jesus. I remember when you were struggling talking about you couldn't get to 100 or 200, what it was.
Yeah, we
All the
passed
faith in
that,
God.
didn't we? Hey, Ace. Hey, Sheila. Thanks for stopping by and listening to us.
All right, man. I'm gonna turn it off and I'll catch up with you. Be safe.
All right, brother. You have a good one.
All right. Yeah.